Hello, good morning everyone.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning Prakash Reddy.
Sir, I'm waiting for Ravikant sir and Naira sir, Vice Principal of Dhanvantari.
Yeah, no problem. It's okay.
Few minutes.
Hello, Dr. Ravikant.
Hi.
Good morning.
A very good morning, Prasad Garu. Happy to invite you.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah. Been waiting from long time.
Yeah.
Prakash?
Sir, Ravikant sir.
Yeah, is everything
I
okay?
think Vijay sir also is there, sir.
Vijay, sir?
Dr. Vijay.
Yeah, Dr. Vijay, sir. Okay, right.
Prakash, please let me know when we have to start.
Sure, sir.
Prakash, I think we can start now. Is there any
Okay.
problem?
No, sir.
Okay. We need not to wait, because already there are party members.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let them join.
Good morning to all. I welcome to today's webinar by Vijay Durga Prasad Garu. A special invitation by our management, Dhanvantari Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences Management. And sir, with your permission, I'm share a few words of you.
Yes, please.
Durga Prasad Garu completed post-graduation in MSc and presently working as a manager at Pfizer Company, Pfizer Limited. And he's working in the field of various pharmaceutical industries like senior executive in analytical R&D department in McLeod's Limited and Dr. Reddy's Limited and AET Laboratories Private Limited, and deputy manager in validation in Azenta Limited, and assistant manager in global technology supports in Pfizer Limited, and at the same time manager at Pfizer Company, Pfizer Limited. And following areas, various areas is working and specialized in various instruments like HPLC, GC, PSD, resolution, chromatography, and regulatory uh, guidelines and analytical method department and validation. Durga Prasad Garu having spent almost his entire career advising people and their job in various places. And he's additionally having project management and collaboration with global stockholders. And thank you, sir. And once again, welcome to our webinar. And please uh, continue your webinar, sir.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Prakash Reddy, for your kind words. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, great. Thank you. So we can start now. Anybody else is going to join, or we can start? Ravikant
Start,
or
sir.
Prakash Reddy, we can start now, right? Okay, great. So good morning, everyone. Greetings to all the students, and I believe some of the industrial colleagues are also joined. Good morning, everyone. Greetings to everyone. I know this is a very pandemic situation about the coronavirus. Entire world is facing a lot of challenge because of this virus, and pharma companies, especially trying to find out the vaccines and the drugs to cure this corona disease.
వాట్సాప్ లింక్ వచ్చింది నేను పంపిస్తాను.
Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen so that I can talk you about the some insights of pharmaceutical analysis and some other topics. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Prakash Reddy? Yeah, thank you. So my name is Durga Prasad, as mentioned by Prakash Reddy. I worked in Pfizer company located in Chennai, which is majorly focused on injectable formulations. And also I had a total of 12 years of experience in the analytical research and development industries. So with my knowledge, I will try to provide some basic information about the analysis and other things, and I will share with you students. So before I start my actual presentation, I would like to give you one case study which has recently happened, one of the serious incident that was happened in Jammu Kashmir. Okay. So you can see the screen, you can see a spoon with some liquid. Can you imagine what was this? Can anybody imagine what was this? This is, I would say, since we are talking about pharmaceutical products, I would say this is like a syrup. Yes, it is right. It is a syrup. So what happens, this is a cold syrup which was manufactured by one of the Himachal Pradesh based company, Digital Vision Pharma. So it was a cold syrup and it was distributed across India. And this was consumed by the children who are having cough. And in Jammu Kashmir, there are 12 children who are died because of this syrup. So do you know what the reason? You might have seen the news in the newspapers. The reason for this issue was contamination of diethylene glycol in the cold syrup. So there are almost 12 children in Jammu Kashmir who are died because of this substandard, what you call the medicine, the cold syrup. So this was manufactured by our Indian-based company, that is Himachal Pradesh. So what happened in this syrup? I will try to provide you some basic information. What is there in this drug? So there will be a excipient used in the cold syrup. In that excipient, diethylene glycol came as a impurity or as a contamination, and people manufacturer did not had any control over it, and they released the drug product into the market without testing the sample. So that means without analyzing the drug properly, this drug was released into the market and people consumed and 12 children were died. And this particular component, diethylene glycol, as a chemistry person, everybody knows this is a very toxic reagent. This is generally used in like automobile industries, paint industries, and other industries. This this toxic component should not be present or should not be consumed as a food or as consumed into the body. If it is consumed into the body, it will act on the kidneys, and severity will be very high. And if you see, after analysis, after identifying the children deaths, this product was tested in another laboratory, and it was identified that diethylene glycol was present at 34.97% is present in the serum, which is expected not to be present in the product, but it was 34.97% is there in the product. This is the reason why people were died. Later, immediately, government had acted upon it and recalled all the products that were sold under cold-based PC, which was manufactured by Himachal Pradesh. So imagine the importance of analysis, the importance of manufacturing, and the care that we need to take care when manufacturing or analyzing the drugs when it is consumed to the body. So this was a very sad situation, and I would like to emphasize everybody who are going into pharmaceutical industry, please please ensure that you are consuming a very important medicine to cure your disease, not to harm your entire body itself. So let us see, is this the case is new? No, it's not. This case is not a new thing. This diethylene glycol contamination is already observed several years before. If you see some of the information I got from the web source, in 1937 itself in USA, DEG, diethylene glycol, was used in the elixir, one of the drug product, sulfonamide drug. DEG found as a contamination. Because of this, several people were died. And also later to that, until 2008, there are several cases or several instances where DEG mass poison was observed. Still, if you see, still in 2020, the Himachal Pradesh company, the Digital Vision company based in Himachal Pradesh, still provided this type of medicine, substandard medicine to the public. So please ensure whenever you are going for a pharmaceutical industry or any product you are buying, please ensure you are taking proper medicine. And it's not comes with the people, it also should come from the government authorities who should who should give more restrictions and thorough review of the drugs that were going into market. Okay, with this incident, I would like to emphasize on the analysis part, especially if the company has been analyzed properly, the drug product, it would have a different scenario. If the component was already identified before it is sending into the market, we could have saved the children death. Okay. So today I will provide you some important information about pharmaceutical industry landscape, how the pharmaceutical industry, this is my opinion and based on my experience, I tried to provide some of the information, how the pharmaceutical industry will look like in general. And I will provide you some information about the drug discovery process. So how the drug will comes, how a new drug will comes rather than a drug, I would say new drug, how the new drug discovery will happens in the industry, pharmaceutical industry. And I will touch upon FDA approval process. FDA is nothing but Foods, Drugs and Administration. This is a US FDA. We will call it generally called as a United States Foods, Drugs and Administration. Each country will have a drug control authority like FDA. US market, United States market is also having FDA, that is US FDA, which is a stringent regulatory agency. And pharmaceutical industry based in India, they wanted to manufacture, they wanted to export their drug products and drugs to US market. So if you want to sell our products in the US, we need to get approval from US FDA. So that is United States Foods, Drugs and Administration. So I will provide you what are the different steps that were involved when approval of the new drug if you want to sell in the US market. And I will also provide you departments landscape in the pharmaceutical industry. That means what are the different departments, different job roles, I would say, different job roles involved in the pharmaceutical industry. This is my opinion or my experience I would like to share you. And stages of analyst again. So when you started your career as a analyst, I would say analysis of components. So what are the different stages you experience when you are entered into an industry as an analyst? And I will show you some of the typical COAs, that means certificate of analysis. Usually what you say, if you see any, for example, if you purchase any water bottle, you can see label information there. What are the different types of components present, like what are the mineral content, what are the different added reagents, what are the different things. So all this information was provided in the label. Along with the label, for a drug or any for example any material, it will comes with a certificate of analysis. Certificate analysis means the material was tested with a list of different analytical tests and the results were shown as below. So those information I will try to provide you. So this will give you some gist of information about how industries were doing the testing on the drugs and drug products. So this will give you some information about different analytical tests. Then I will provide you some basic information about the chromatography. So this might be, you might have studied in your education also. I will provide you some experimental practical procedures or practical information about the chromatography, practical aspects of this chromatography. In this, I will touch upon thin layer chromatography, HPLC. In HPLC, I will provide you instrumentation and also some method development tips for HPLC method analysis. And some of the detectors, what are the different detectors used in the HPLC for detection of the compounds. And I will provide you one of the important information about method development, that is Van Demeter equation. This is one of the most important underlying principle of any chromatographic technique. So I will try to provide you some details about Van Demeter equation with examples. Then the KF titration. KF titration means Karl-Fischer titration, which is a popular technique used for determination of water content in the drugs and drug products. Then dissolution. Dissolution is also one of the most popular technique used for the determination of dissolution behavior of the pharmaceutical tablets, capsules, and other dosage forms. And then gas chromatography. This is also one of the most widely used technique in the industry. I will provide you the instrumentation details and the detector techniques using this chromatography, gas chromatography. Finally, I will give you some of the important regulatory guidelines. Like these are the ICH guidelines, are the common quality guidelines which are minimum for any industry to follow these guidelines in order to manufacture, or in order to develop the methods, or in order to analyze the compounds, or some of the risk assessments and setting the specification, what is the limit any component should contain. So those kind of guidelines, I will just give you an overview of different ICH quality guidelines. And finally, after the presentation, you can have some questions. If you can include in the chat, or you can ask the panelists so that I can answer. If time not permits, I can able to provide offline the answers. Okay. So with this, I will start with the pharmaceutical industry. If you need any clarification, or please interrupt me if you want. I'm fine with that. Okay. So as I mentioned, I will provide you landscape of pharmaceutical industry. In my experience, I see there are two majorly involved stages of pharmaceutical industry. One is drug discovery stage. That means you can see NDA. That means new drug application. So how the new drug comes and what are the different process for a new drug to come into the market. And the second one, this is also most popular, and this is where India is focusing more. That is generics. Generics means, in simple words, I would say copy from the NDA. Like if a new drug was already developed by a manufacturer, so what the generic company will do, it will copy the formulation from the, not exactly the exact formulation from the new drug, but it will try to take some information from new drug, and it will develop, they will develop a new drug, and it will be comparable with the new drug, that is innovator. We call the new drug as innovator. The generic product should be comparable with the innovator in terms of biological activity, in terms of safety, in terms of quality. So all those parameters will be compared with the innovator. The generic company will compare with the innovator, and drug will be, can be sold into the market. So that is how generics comes into the picture. So why India is not able to come into NDA, that is as an innovator, means preparation of a new drug, because the drug discovery involves a lengthy process. It almost took minimum 10 to 20 years to develop a new drug, and there will be a lot of investment into uh, the process of new drug. I will show you the drug discovery process. So I'm not an expert in all of these things, but I will try to provide you what are the different stages involved in the drug discovery. So the first one is the target selection. The pharmaceutical company will try to identify the target disease. So they will identify which molecule will be act upon the particular disease. They will identify, they will do some genomics, proteomics, bioinformatics studies, cellular and genetic targets. They will identify the target, and then they will do the lead discovery. That means they will synthesize that molecule. The identified molecule will be synthesized, it will be isolated, and it will be subjected to high throughput screening. Like similar molecules, if anything is there, it will be automatically, it will they will identify the isolation and characteristic of the drug. And then the medicinal chemistry mostly talks about synthesis, isolation, and how the drug is actively working on the particular area, particular disease area. So that will be discussed in the medicinal chemistry. And in vitro studies, in vitro studies are nothing but treatment of the disease in the laboratory. So this will not be done on the animals or the human. It will be in a culture. They will bring the cultures from disease affected body. So they will bring the cultures like blood cells or stem cell. They will bring to the laboratory, and they will add the medicine into the cultures, and they will see the effectiveness of the drug, how it is behaves, whether the disease is affecting or not, whether the disease causing bacteria or virus is getting reduced or not. Those type of in vitro studies will be studied. So once the in vitro studies were positive, then the company will go for in vivo studies. That means animal studies. So they will inject into the animals which are healthy animals, and also the uh, infected animals. They will study the behaviors, how the drug was behaving in the animals. Once the animal studies were done, then it will go for clinical trials. Clinical trials means it will be subjected to human population. So it will be subjected to less number of humans initially, and then followed by the higher number of human populations, and they will see the effectiveness and safety and other parameters of the drug, how it is behaving in the humans. So as I mentioned earlier, this entire process will take 10 to 20 years of time. And also the money investment is most important parameter. If in any stage, for example, the company comes across all the stages and it got failed in the clinical studies in any one human population, then it will get rejected. So then they have to start again from starting, and they have to invest again more amount of money, and then more amount of time to get into the final stage. So that's why NDA or innovator, to become an innovator, it is a very difficult process and it involves more time, more investment, more infrastructure, and more staff to process this entire thing. So that was the drug discovery process. Yes. So as I mentioned earlier in the agenda, I will provide you what are the different approval process for US FDA will look into. You don't need to read this information. Yeah, I will just try to explain you what are the details here. Typically, this is the FDA process. 10 to 12 steps will be there for FDA to approve. So the first stage is drug developed. That means the target is identified, biological activity was determined, and other things were medicinal chemistry and in vivo studies were done. In vitro studies were done. Then the first stage will be animals tested. Sponsor, the manufacturer will do the testing on animals, and this information will be provided to FDA. That means US Food and Drug Administration drug approvals. So FDA will take it as a IND application. That means investigational new drug application. So this will comes under preclinical stage. So this is called as preclinical. They will take as a IND. Once the IND was filed with FDA, investigational new drug, then that will goes to clinical stage. Clinical, as I mentioned, clinical and therapeutics is the category where it will be applied to human population. The third step, the third process in the FDA process is phase 1 clinical trials. So what they will do in phase 1 clinical trials, they will try to see the safety of the particular drug, which is particular new drug, how the safety affects the human population. They will take 20 to 80 healthy volunteers, not the infected patients. They will take the healthy volunteers and they will add this drug, they will introduce this drug into these 20 to 80 population, and they will see the safety of this drug. Is there any side effects because of this drug is happening into the body? That will be tested in phase 1 clinical trials. Then it is comes to phase 2 clinical trials. So typically FDA recommends 100 people population, but here the patients were actual patients were used in the testing. So in this testing, the expectation from the FDA is to see the effectiveness. That means how the drug is effective on the disease, whether disease is getting reduced or not, how many days it is taking, what is the impact of the drug into the disease. So typically 100 patients and the drug effectiveness will be tested in the phase 2 clinical trials. So at the end of phase 2 trials, FDA and sponsor will discuss the results again. They will sit together and they will discuss. And then if any discrepancy or if any issues will be there, they will be discussed here. If any issues were found, they will go back to the previous trial and they will identify the root cause, and then they will again perform the trials from phase 1 to phase 2. Sorry. So, excuse me. The step 5, the phase 3 clinical trials. That means these clinical trials will be done on 1,000 number of patients. So this is most important step for any manufacturer, pharmaceutical company, because to get 1,000 volunteers across the globe, very difficult. So and this is a trial phase, so it is very difficult to get the more than 1,000 patients to test phase 3 clinical trial. This is one of the challenging for a pharmaceutical company to develop a new drug. So that is the clinical trials. Once the phase 3 clinical trials are over, they again, FDA and manufacturer pharmaceutical company will sit together and they will review the results. And pharmaceutical company will ask to submit NDA application. That means new drug application to FDA. Application will be get reviewed by FDA inspectors and subject matter experts in FDA. They will review, and in the 10th step they will decide how the labeling should look like. because this once the drug goes into the market, most of the people will see the label. What is this drug? How to administer into body, like once a day, two or twice a day, or it should post meals or pre meals, fasting stage, fed stage. Those information they will try to incorporate in the drug labeling. This is one of the important parameter, because once it is marketed into the market, company pharmaceutical company will not provide the information to everybody by doing advertisement or something. It is the end user responsibility. It is the patient responsibility to read the